Well, here we are, the finished article. So we've had a lot of bits and pieces to look out for. So the front hugger was really dull. The carbon fibre hadn't been polished since I think the day it was made. Front wheel's in pretty good condition, but I've had all the bearings out and placed them and cleaned up all the spacers and cleaned up the forks. Serviced the forks, changed the seals, changed the oil. I've had everything off, so the oil cooler, the horns, the front alternator cover. I've added a carbon fibre Guzzi belly pan, and I've added some grills to the bottom of the intake there, just to sort of finish it off, because it looks a little bit unfinished without them. The exhausts have been off, have been polished to within an inch of their life. Engine's been out, engine's been serviced, and didn't actually need any bearings changed. Everything was fine. I've had the cylinder heads off and I've repainted those. I've had the valve covers repainted, the cylinder valve guards repainted. I've redone parts of the frame. The tank's been completely recoloured from the Coppa Italia into the Coppa Italia colours by my friends at Dream Machine, including all the correct decals and what have you. I've actually picked a slightly darker red than what it should be, but I think it works really well, because I wanted a candy, which really gives it a pop. It's really sort of metallic, dark metallic. All the drivetrains been off, the port chops have been off. Again, the carbon fibre side guards. Again, the guys at Dream Machine were good enough to make me some logos for the name badge on the side plates, which is really good. All the ancillaries have been off, like the rear foot guards and everything, and everything's been cleaned and greased and all put back together and painted where necessary. Rear hugger's been dealt the same treatment. When I bought the bike, it's Cafe Sport, it did have some reverse cone silencers on it, which I didn't like, but I've also got a Rosso Corsa which had these pipes on it, which I think suit this bike a bit better, so I've put them on there for the moment. The final drive unit, the prop and all the drivetrains been off, been serviced, been cleaned. Again, the rear wheel I haven't had painted. It's fine. Maybe at some time I will get that done, but for the moment it's all good. Again, the rear caliper holder and the rear brake disc have been off and been repainted. Basically everything's been put back together with stainless steel nuts and bolts, and everything that needed doing I think has been done. It runs and ticks over very nicely. It sounds lovely with these Mistral pipes on. The fact that the engine casings have all been repainted, and it just, it looks pretty much like a new bike. So all that's left for me to do now is really just to go out and ride it, and then retalk some of the bits and pieces. The bike came to me with a non-standard speedo, but I actually don't think it looks too bad, and the originals are really hard to get hold of, so I'm just going to live with that until such times as I see a standard one. I mean, that's an electronic one, it does all the necessary bits and pieces, the mileage is correct, so yeah, all good. Still looking out for a pair of replacement mirrors. There's not too much wrong with these, but they've got some little tiny scuffs on them which just niggle me, being as the rest of the bike's pretty spot on. So there you go, there you have it in all its glory. I think it's come out really nice. So I'm really happy with the colour, really happy. It's really nice, and the guys at Dream Machine have picked some nice metallic or pearlescent whites and greens to go so it represents the Coppa Italia that it's supposed to be. A very pretty bike.